Alexander Dean was a 24-year-old aspiring bodybuilder living in Belgium who spent nearly 2 years documenting his fitness journey on YouTube. His channel was small, with most videos only reaching a few hundred views, but the goal behind it was clear. Alex wanted to build a career around bodybuilding. So, like many fitness creators, he uploaded workout routines, training sessions, physique updates, and dieting content. At first glance, there was nothing unusual about him or his channel. There were no public controversies or viral moments, and nothing to suggest it would one day become connected to one of Belgium's most disturbing criminal cases. One upload, however, stood out from the rest. In a video titled Alex Dean Rant, Daily Thoughts, Future, uploaded on July 20th, 2017, he discussed his plans for the future. In it, he discussed his life ahead, mentioning that his plan A was bodybuilding, but he also had a plan B, which, in his words, didn't look pretty.
What you mean?
So yeah, right now I'm just not sure what to do with everything, you know? Like, normally I wouldn't
What kind of shirt is these, though?
Plan B.
Reveal?
This is my plan A. You know, the store and everything and bodybuilding. But you always gotta have plan B. But my
Call
plan
MJ
B,
and ask if he's streaming. I'm just not finna do that.
he does not look
Thanks.
pretty.
I'm
So
Bro, did he not stream it? Or is that yesterday?
A few users noticed him to be unusually down and expressed support in the comments. But after that exchange, the channel carried on as usual. Alex uploaded 2 new videos the very next day. However, this was followed by silence. At the time, there was little to no reason for anyone to think something was wrong. Alex wasn't a full-time creator, and the channel had less than 200 subscribers, so taking a break was in no way unusual. Moreover, even some of the biggest creators sometimes disappear for weeks without ever explaining why. But what almost no one knew was that in the early hours of July 22nd,
Yo, Smash Mary... Oh god, I gotta be quiet. Yo, Smash Mary killed Jada Newman, Ash Cash, Overtime Megan. I killed Jada Newman. Smash, Overtime Megan, and Mary Ash Cash. That's valid picks. Only way to go, I ain't gonna lie. Would you rather be a cat or a fish? Liquid, why are you asking me talking stage questions in the chat? I don't know what I'd rather be, a cat or a fish. Probably a cat. Because if I'm a fish, I can only stay in the ocean, though.
Alex had uploaded
I'm marrying Overtime Megan, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Anyone but Jada Newman, man, I ain't gonna lie.
another video to YouTube separate from his usual training content. He was visibly distressed, talking about a girl he had recently broken up with, an 18-year-old named Mylis Descamps. The video is
What if you're a land shark? Bro, I mean, what am I gonna do as a land shark, though? Facts?
And taken down, but at the time, sitting on a channel with a very small audience, it went virtually unnoticed. Alex and Mylis had been together for around a year and a half, but by the summer of 2017, their relationship had come to an end, and Alex struggled to accept the breakup. After several unsuccessful attempts to convince Mylis to come back, he began to spiral.
Niche streamers?
He started following...
That's not even how you spell niche. I don't know how to spell it exactly, but I know that's not it. What does that mean? I'm gonna gatekeep you so you stay poor? Nice, bro. I don't know. I made it up. Okay.
Mylis everywhere. He showed up at her workplace, lurked around her family's property, and confronted her at her neighbor's house. Mylis's parents reported all of this.
Wait, what? Oh, I'm not focusing.
Family's property and confronted her at her neighbor's house. Mylis's parents reported all of this to police multiple times, including calls to emergency services. 2 investigations were opened into his behavior.
How long should the stream be today? I'm gonna let y'all choose. I was gonna be on here for like an hour, but I don't know.
Alex's attempts failed to move Mylis. His desperation turned into a dangerous obsession. On July 24th, 2017, Alex traveled to the home of a 39-year-old amateur photographer named Jeroen Verstra. Alex traveled to the home of a 39-year-old amateur photographer named Jeroen Verstra. Jeroen had taken suggestive photos of Mylis in the past, and Alexander had been unable to let it go. He later claimed he believed the photographer had physically harmed her, though the court would ultimately question whether that was true or whether the whole thing came down to jealousy. Alex broke into Jeroen's home and waited for him to return.
So he's going crazy.
When Jeroen arrived that evening, Alex ambushed him, held him captive for hours, and ultimately killed him. Jeroen's body was discovered the following morning by a colleague. By then, Alex had already fled the scene, leaving behind no evidence that could connect him to the murder. The next day, on July 25th, Milese came home to her family's house and noticed a shadow moving inside. She'd been through this enough times to know what it meant. She hid in the bushes outside and called her mother, who was away on a trip, and told her she was certain Alex had broken into the house again. Unable to get there herself, her mother asked Milese's grandparents, who lived nearby, to go to the house.
Bro,
when the three of them went inside, they found Alex already waiting.
Too, so it must be like
at gunpoint, he forced them to sit at the table before making a chilling declaration. "I did it yesterday, I'm doing it again today." Only later would investigators realize he was confessing to Jeroen's murder in real time. What followed was a tense, drawn-out conversation at the table. Milese's grandfather told him to leave his granddaughter alone and that no one needed to get hurt. Throughout this time, Milese's mother had been calling the house repeatedly.
I thought he was gonna pack
At
up
one
the grandpa
point, she reached the landline and Alex picked up. She told him the police were on their way. She also called a neighbor to check on the house, but Alex slammed the door in his face and the neighbor ran to call the police. Shortly after that call, Alex attacked. Unfortunately, by the time police arrived, Alex had already fled the scene, leaving behind Milese and her grandparents lifeless on the floor. A man who, just days earlier, had been known only to a handful of people as a small-time fitness YouTuber was now the most wanted suspect in one of Belgium's most disturbing criminal cases. A nationwide manhunt was launched.
Alex was great Cavia Skolin, I guess, bro. He's buff, but he's not Nugget 6 buff, if that makes sense. Like, there's certain levels to this, but he's obviously a dangerous man, so I would probably run from him.
And the next day, he was arrested at a supermarket. As the investigators pieced together the previous 2 days, it became increasingly clear that Alex had been planning this depraved crime for several days. In a text conversation with a friend sent before the murders, he had written that he was about to do the dumbest thing he'd ever done, and described ending Milese's life as a way of protecting her, saying he'd rather protect her forever by hurting her once. Looking back, his sudden disappearance from his YouTube channel wasn't a break. It was the point where his obsession and insanity,
Alex
which he hinted at in
need a
Plan
racket
B,
like
moved
tennis.
off
Look
camera
why
into
you
real
rapping
life.
about this on the
In
channel.
May 2022, nearly 5 years after the murders, a Belgian jury found Alexander Dean guilty of murdering Jeroen Verstra, Milese de Camp, and her grandparents. He was sentenced to life in prison. Yet, his YouTube channel was never taken down, and to this date, his videos are available online as an unsettling record of a young man's descent from ambition into obsession, with one upload where he publicly confessed his intentions days before committing the horrific crimes.
Genuinely insane, yeah.
On February 20th, 2019, a
so he's still
teenager
making
from
money?
Uckfield in
Yo,
England.
bro, if he's serving life in jail, you think they're gonna give him his YouTube check while he's in jail, bro? No, bro. Liquid, what do I even say to that?
Named Mark Williams made a YouTube channel to document his love for parkour and urban exploration. Although the channel started as Rooftop Legends, then changed to Rooftop.
Hold on, redo.
Field in England, named Mark Williams, made a YouTube channel to document his love for parkour and urban exploration.
I'm already sensitive where this is going. Would y'all do parkour? I wish I could do parkour because Spider-Man be doing parkour. But like, how do you train? Like, every time I see the video on IG Reels, like, how do you train to do parkour? Like, how do you train for that? Like what preparation? Like, besides like gymnastics, like, what do you do? Like, how do you train to fall off? Make sure you don't fall off a skyscraper or stuff. If I know I can make a jump.
Although the channel started as Rooftop Legends, then changed to RoofTube, Mark eventually settled on the name Displays. In his initial videos, Mark was accompanied by his younger brother as they visited different sites in the area. And even from those first uploads, two things are immediately clear. One was that this wasn't a harmless hobby. Whether he was scaling rooftops or being chased off by security guards, every upload showed that what Mark was doing carried real risk.
Yeah, she must be calling the police. Straight up there, run!
So he's running from the
No! Oh, wait.
The other was that Mark genuinely loved what he was doing. The effort he put into filming, editing, and documenting each adventure made it obvious that this was something he was deeply passionate about.
I used to watch
but
stuff.
Mark was also a teenager who wanted more than anything to find people he could fit in with. Years later, his mother would describe him as someone who craved friendship and was far too trusting of the people around him. This detail would eventually become one of the most heartbreaking parts of his story. When his younger brother gradually stepped away from the channel, Mark's uploads grew inconsistent, and slowly his regular posting schedule fell apart. Then, on November 1st, 2020, Mark uploaded a video titled "This Place is Returning," explaining that he'd bought an action cam to film properly and was committing to a regular schedule again.
I promise you, this place is coming back. I'm getting a new action cam.
I used to be afraid of height, but then my dad took me roofing with him, and then I wasn't scared. What is roofing? Is that like you were prepared to roof?
Not like the ones I used to before. I mean,
Did I hit the nail on the head or no?
I'm just
Is that
getting
what that
myself back in shape again. Especially during the night as
Yeah?
well. See me up here.
He also
cool.
mentioned that the reason he'd been away was that he'd applied to become a police community support officer and had been rejected.
Sorry about the long time.
Holy.
I applied to be a
Oh, it's
PCSO
panic in my
for
hair,
some
though.
reason and I got rejected. So now, you know, I'm coming back full on. Properly coming back. Right.
True to his word, Mark started posting consistently, at times sometimes posting 4 or 5 videos a week. As the channel gained
Okay,
some
I mean, he
momentum and
grinded
built a
up.
small audience,
Can he
some
not
viewers
get-
started watching him regularly and even wrote in to suggest where he should explore next.
I
Among those
just use
admirers
water
was
and leave it
19-year-old Lewis
liquid.
Ashdown.
I'm not.
Lewis
Aren't
shared
you
Mark's
Mexican? I'm
love
not
of
Mexican.
parkour and
though.
filming
I'm black
and commented
man
under one of
with
Mark's
nice, long,
videos that he was from the
luscious
same
dreads,
area
though,
and would
but
love to meet up and film
I do
together
use leave it
sometime.
though.
That day
In water.
came
I
on
stopped
9th
using oil,
December
I'm not gonna lie.
2020 when Mark
'Cause my
posted a
scalp
video
be acting
exploring
up.
Uckfield's water treatment plan, joined for the first time by Lewis.
Hi guys, I'm back here with Lewis. And we're going to do the water
Yeah?
treatment facility in Uckfield on the industrial estate.
The two got along immediately, and from that point on, Lewis became a regular in Mark's videos. By it, not long after, Mark took another break from the channel. He explained why in a live stream, saying he was feeling discouraged.
Oh, he getting depressed.
I am
man.
not sure where my channel
But
is
why,
going to
though?
go. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing these videos. I don't know if I'm going to be doing different videos or whether I'm going to stop completely. At this point in time, I don't know. I've been trained to get my SIA license over the past couple of weeks.
What is that?
And I can't really risk that. But
Because
I'm
of
not
that
sure
phone,
at the moment.
probably?
I need to talk with
He's
Lewis some
depressed because
more,
of his phone?
work something out.
Hold on. I might be
However,
missing a
during
key
this
aspect of
stream,
this video.
Lewis joined under the username AdmiralUnknown1499 and started pushing Mark to keep going, throwing out ideas for future videos and suggesting new spots to film.
Is this a good
Upon
thing?
seeing these comments, Mark visibly lit up and started talking about what they were going to film together. Over the next month, Mark uploaded 2 more videos, walking around more abandoned sites with Lewis and laughing together. What Mark didn't know at
Okay,
the
so that's his
time
mans.
was that
That's
these
his
2
mans.
clips would be the last he'd ever film. On May 29th, 2021, he had planned to meet up with Lewis to
It's not
discuss a
that
few
long.
ideas for the future. But when he found out that Mark had brought his younger brother along, Lewis said he didn't feel comfortable and didn't
what?
show up. He later convinced Mark to meet him
This took a
alone in a
turn?
different
Yeah.
area. The two ended up drinking together, and
Trying to
even
put
though
the
Mark
pieces
rarely
together.
drank, Lewis kept pushing him to have more. At 11:30 p.m., Mark called his aunt to say he was on his way home. She could hear Lewis in the background, telling her he'd make sure Mark got back safe. But
Can he see?
Mark never made it home. And when several hours passed with no word from either of them, their families reported them both missing. For a small town like Uckfield, 2 people vanishing at the same time was almost unheard of. The first assumption was that they'd gone exploring somewhere dangerous and gotten hurt. Being what they were into, it wasn't hard to
I'm trying to
imagine
really
them climbing
think
something they shouldn't have. Or maybe they just had too much to drink in the woods and couldn't find their way back. But when investigators went to Lewis's house,
What y'all
they
think
found
happened?
bloodied clothing stuffed inside a wardrobe. Forensics confirmed the blood was Mark's. This instantly turned the missing person case into a potential murder investigation. Lewis was eventually found
Who's
at a
Lewis
friend's
again?
house. That same friend told the officers that Lewis had already confessed to him about taking Mark's life. In the days after the attack, Lewis turned up
So he
drunk
moving like
and admitted
Josh
he had
Wu?
done
I
something
never did this in my
terrible.
life.
He then pulled out his phone and played a series of clips
Wait,
he
this is
filmed
Lewis?
while committing the gruesome act. Officers recovered a total of 7 clips from Lewis's phone. They were filmed over roughly an hour and were so disturbing that the court later ruled the footage too harrowing to be shown. By it, that left everyone with a single question. Why did Lewis decide to take his friend's life?
So
The
Lewis
easiest explanation was that the night just
killed
went
him?
wrong. Mark almost never drank, and he'd spent hours in the woods getting heavily intoxicated with someone he trusted. And considering how easily alcohol can turn an ordinary evening between 2 young men into something ugly,
Yo.
it's not hard to imagine how a simple
murdered his
argument or
mates?
shove
Like
could have
his
escalated into real
mates?
violence before it spiraled out of control. By it, the issue with this theory is that Lewis had specifically made sure
That is-
Mark met him
that
alone,
is crazy.
which made the attack look less like a sudden drunken argument and more like something he may have been planning for some time. There was also the question of jealousy. Over the previous months, Lewis had worked his way from a stranger in the comments to a regular in nearly every video Mark made. But it was always Mark's name on the channel, Mark's audience, and Mark that people were watching for.
So what, he was
So it
jealous of
doesn't
his
take a
channel?
lot of thinking to imagine resentment festering beneath that on-camera friendship. Both these theories were reasonable to some extent, and both, at the very least, gave the killing something that resembled a reason.
So he was a
But
chatter
both turned out to be
that-
wrong,
like an OG
because
chatter,
Lewis later told people
like a
that
Playboy
Mark,
Max type
quote,
situation.
annoyed him
An
and
OG chatter
deserved to be killed.
that was
He
brought
said
on the
he
street,
felt good doing it
and
and
then he
didn't want to
they
stop.
became mans.
The judge who sentenced
And then
him
he
said
got
we may never
jealous,
fully
and then
understand
murked
why he
him.
did it. Lewis pleaded guilty to murder in 2021 and was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 27 years. At sentencing, Mark's mother told
Nigga,
the
you trying
court
to meet
that
up and
all
do
his
some
son ever
parkour?
wanted was a friend.
Nice look what's on.
He
I
was too
see the video with my eyes are open now. I want you to know that.
of the people
So, no,
around him.
I'm gonna decline
That
that, no,
trust is what
respectfully.
cost him his life. To this
So I
day,
see how
his
you
channel
moving, though.
is exactly as he
I
left
see
it.
how you moving.
And all the videos with Lewis still show the same sense of friendship. Only now, viewers know what Lewis's intentions had been the whole time.
Almost. Nah.
In April
Yeah, you almost got me, bro.
2013, 31-year-old Jared Miller created a
Oh,
YouTube
wow.
channel to keep what was essentially a digital diary.
I love you, baby.
Most of the
03. This is not going.
uploads were of Jared filming his two cats, Leonardo and Oreo, as they played with each other.
Fire. Good names.
Look at them.
Libya names.
They're so cute. You guys are so cute. What you doing?
My
The
couple
longer
cat
you
for the one
watch,
time one of these
the more
days,
you
bro.
realize something is seriously wrong with this channel. Because in
School
between
starting in exactly 11 days, and I've no. School starting in exactly 11 days, and I have no cut, no shoes, no new swag. Face is breaking out, same height, bloated, and I've been chud maxing. Haven't been to the gym since July. I mean, maybe that's just how you meant to be, though. You feel me? Not everyone. Let me say this. Let me say this, Raheem. Not everybody needs to go to college with an arm sleeve. You know, to be a 99 overall, you're still probably gonna get no woman. If you weren't getting any before college, just give up. You feel me? So let me just say that you don't need an arm sleeve. You don't need the gym. Just go to school how you were before summer, no matter how bad that was, and then you'll be good. That's my advice to you, Raheem. Take that with a grain of salt. I get closed tomorrow 5. Good luck. Just start fast until school start. It will debunk you, kill your skin. No, bro, just go how you is, bro. Like, I promise you that sleeve not gonna change the game, though. You feel me? I'm gonna tell you that. But I mean, you could try it though.
these
You could
cat
try it.
videos, Jared would suddenly drift into long and at times disturbing rants about the government. For example, in a video titled
Bro, please
Oreo,
hush.
Leonardo, and Drones, he randomly started talking about a conspiracy theory magazine where the government was spying on people.
Raheem, I'm just trying to give you advice. Both of y'all actually.
Check this out. This is quite disturbing.
Bro, do not fast before school.
This is drones.
Bro, come on, dude. Just
Are
go
they
to the
watching
gym if anything. Like.
This is a whole magazine
What you about to do with the drones, though?
on drones.
Bro, Raheem, do not eat 1
Whole
meal a day. Just go
magazine.
to the, oh my god. Just go
About
to the
it.
gym, dude, or like
No
eat better
ads.
food, or like track your calories.
All
Like
about
download the
drones.
fitness app. That's what I use.
So are they watching you? Probably. I
Do
mean,
not eat
they're
1
already
meal a day.
wiretapping your phones. You
Yeah.
know, watching your Facebook and everything.
But I'm not letting this slide. Like I'm seeing Liquid tell you to eat under 600 calories, low key. You can ruin your build if you want. Alright, but I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna keep watching the video.
And they're probably watching this video of me right now. I don't care.
Swag, yeah, bro.
Congrats.
At the time, Jared already had a long history of feeling
He did
trapped by
600 under
authority.
600 calories
He
a
had been
day.
arrested
Swag.
repeatedly over the years, with
Nice.
charges connected to guns, drugs, and
I need more
assault.
eyes,
By the time he
bro.
was posting these videos, he was on house arrest for selling illegal substances, confined inside his
Gang.
apartment with nowhere to go.
Gang,
And
how did
this-
you go from Tubster to Mad Skinny then? I went from 150 pounds, legally obese, 5'2", at 12 to shredded 6 foot black man, 18, 5'10". I went from that, the gym, basketball, and yeah, bro, you track the calories, bro. Yep. Method is the method, and you need to get right fast. So shredded, yeah, I'm shredded. No, I'm not. I'm talking when you at the sky top, sexy. Yes, that's what I said. No, when I at the sky top, bro, I'm telling. Well, first off, like I just grew. Like I naturally grew. My body naturally grew. I eat fruits, oats. I naturally grew. You got mad skinny when you had the sky. Oh, that was before the. I know. I know what era that is. Yeah, I just grew, bro, and I played basketball. That was my hooper era, like the end of my hooper era. So I was like, that was right after COVID. Like during COVID, I started to play ball. No, I just decided not to eat mad dessert because I'm thinking about. I used to have a sweet tooth. I used to love dessert, so I was like, yeah, let me chill off the dessert. And during COVID, I played like 3 to 4 hours of basketball every day. On God, like I like literally just because I was so bored. I used to just hoop outside, putting up shots. Like you cut the chicken nuggets, never that. I'm saying the cake and stuff. So it's just a fat. I've been had a sweet tooth though. I'm still fat in the heart, bro. You feel? I love food.
Apartment happened to sit
I
directly
just played
across from the
basketball, bro, in
county
my backyard.
courthouse, which
But
became a
you got your
strange
hoop taken with
fixation
him,
for
so
him.
I don't know what you're gonna do.
Here's my front window here.
And then the tornado knocked my hoop down, so
I can look out my
couldn't
front
hoop anymore.
window. And you look a little closer. There you go.
Not even
Right in
trolling
the
about
middle
that
of
either, though.
frame. That is the courthouse.
Now, what are you talking? What is he
Beautiful
talking about? Let's
building.
focus on this.
Even though it is a monument to authoritarianism. You gotta go get your marriage license. You gotta go.
He's
get
talking about
your gun.
yeah, he's
whatever.
cooked, bro. I ain't gonna-
It is.
What
You
is
have to go down
authoritarianism?
to that big stone structure monument to tyranny
Yeah, he's talking
and
about that.
submit.
Yeah, it's over though.
Crawling and groveling on your hands.
He's gonna find his way to a
give me
gun and
permission
just start
to
going
do
ham,
this.
bro.
Give me
Like,
permission
look what he's
to do
talking
that.
about. Nugget type
To
German.
any
I
viewer
guess.
randomly finding this video
guess.
back in 2013, it may have sounded like just
guess.
another obscure anti-government rambling buried somewhere on
No, bro, I've
YouTube.
seen these types
But
before,
when you
bro.
watch these uploads
Look at my
together,
humor.
they start to feel like a
When's you and trying to chicken nugget mukbang? Oh my god, bro! That's a 22. That's a summer 2025 poll, bro. I forgot about that. I don't know. I haven't done a stream of trying to in I don't even. Oh, maybe almost a year. I don't know. That's still the bro. I be seeing the streams. That's the bro. He be in here sometimes.
of Jared's thoughts tightening
One
around
day,
him.
man. It's gonna be
Dwight-
IRL though. Like when we do it, it's gonna be IRL. You feel me? But hopefully by that time he also slims down. But shout out, that's still the bro though. On God. But like that's gonna be an IRL thing though.
2013, he posted a series of
No?
videos of him speaking
What do you mean
directly
no?
to his wife, Amanda Miller.
When's next strip chat stream? I don't even know what that is. Through Discord? He lives in Canada? Bro, how far do you think I live in Canada?
While also
I live
crying
in New
about how
Jersey.
much he missed her as he served
Come on,
his
bro.
time. But even in that emotional state, his obsession found its way back
That's
in
not that far.
as he blamed the misery in his life on what he called the New World Order. Once his sentence was over, Jared and Amanda left their home in Indiana and headed west in early 2014.
That ain't far to you? That's a 7-hour drive, I generally guess. Let's see. Can't be that far though. Cause it's just generally not where I'm located, but why is there just no any in Toronto? You're right. Pace University? What is that? What does that mean? Okay, it's an 8-hour drive, so it's a little further than I thought, though. But it's not that bad. Nice Lee kid. I know a Pace. Wait, do I? No, I've heard of Pace. What about Pace University?
They first settled in Las Vegas,
Bro,
where they tried to make money
Y'all already knew what the last house was, bro. It's not. Yeah, I just didn't want to. I was about to put my exact address, though. But
dressing as characters for tourists.
8 hours for some chicken nuggets? No, bro. The chicken nugget mukbang is gonna be when we're both LA. We're both in LA. We both are niche celebrities, niche streamers, and we have about 500 to 1,000 viewers in the chat combined stream. That's what the chicken nugget mukbang is gonna be.
Amanda performed
Also, never got.
as
I
Harley
guess-
Quinn,
I guess,
while Jared
man.
often dressed up as the Joker. Jared would also use the same Joker costume to make more videos for his YouTube channel.
Kind of like Jared Leto's Joker. Though.
I'm the Joker, and I'm running for president because year after year I've watched you Americans.
Wait, what?
In the video, Jared pretended to run for president, promising his viewers total and utter
He's taking a hand,
tyranny
man.
while treating the destruction of the country like a
Ain't this
campaign
the Twitter guy? What is that? What does that mean?
platform.
This looks like something that this looks like something that could be on Twitter, but I don't
We'll
know. I
know
don't
exactly what you get. Total and utter tyranny. I want to make everybody submit to one world.
How bad do y'all think his breath smells?
Under
He be saying the
my
hard
rule.
R? Oh, I can see it.
Not these pathetic little puppets they got right now. No, seriously, just vote for me, America.
He grinned through the whole thing and called it tyranny on a madman's scale, selling mass violence as if it were a joke his audience was in.
God, it smell like Josh
Though the video
Lewis.
was meant to be satire,
I don't stick
no
the-
one watching at the time realized it
By the
also
way,
foreshadowed
at
the
least
horrific
not
things these
usually,
beliefs
though.
would eventually
Maybe right
push
now.
Jared to do. And in April of 2014, he finally found a place where those beliefs seemed to have a purpose. He and Amanda traveled to the Bundy Ranch standoff in Nevada, where armed protesters had gathered against the federal government over a
I never
long-running
told a lie,
land
man.
dispute. For Jared,
I don't
this looked
actually
like the
stink,
beginning of
but,
the
like, I'm
revolution
not-
he'd
I
been
didn't
waiting
shower
for.
yet.
But even there, surrounded by armed anti-government protesters, Jared and
You wouldn't
Amanda
even have to
stood
tell
out
us
for the
that.
wrong
I don't
reasons.
yeah.
Before long, they were asked to leave because
don't
their views
actually
were
stink. I
considered
just
too
didn't have a
radical,
shower
even
yet,
by people
though.
who had already taken up arms against federal authority.
But I don't
So
smell
they
fresh.
returned to Las Vegas with nowhere
In a way,
left for
yeah,
their
I'm just
anger to
stop
go.
talking.
By then, Jared had spent more than a year recording himself framing the government as an enemy and fantasizing
ice.
about some sort of revolution. And on the morning of June 8th, 2014, they tried to force that fantasy into existence. Jared and Amanda put on tactical gear, filled duffel bags with weaponry, and walked into a Cici's Pizza on North Nellis Boulevard, where two Metro officers, Alan Beck and Igor Soldo, were eating
Did they
lunch.
make it out?
At around 11:30 a.m., they passed the
That's
officer's
what-
table, turned back, and before they even had a chance to react, lost their lives. And to carry this revolution forward, the couple crossed the street to a nearby
what
Walmart
were they
where they
doing?
threatened people to
And why,
leave.
though?
But a shopper named Joseph Wilcox moved toward Jared to try and stop him. Unfortunately, Joseph didn't realize Amanda was behind him, and she took
They
his
were
life
crazy,
before he
yeah,
could
but it's like a
intervene.
Bonnie and
Minutes
Clyde
later,
type
two teams of officers arrived at the scene and blocked all the exits. As they
But not
entered
in
the
a good
building,
way.
Jared and Amanda would begin to fight back. However, they were outnumbered and outmaneuvered as the officers pushed them into a small corner. The standoff lasted almost 24 minutes before Jared lost his life. Amanda was also found to have suffered a similar fate. But even after all this,
What do you mean?
investigators still didn't fully understand what Jared and Amanda had been trying
Listen,
to
they're
achieve.
both- they
That
both
part only became
died.
clear when officers searched their apartment and found a detailed plan to ambush a courthouse, take it by force, and wreak havoc on the officials inside.
Oh.
And suddenly, Jared's old video about the courthouse outside his window felt less
Well,
like a
that's why he
meaningless
was saying.
rant and more like a blueprint he'd been filming in plain sight. The tyranny he promised in Joker makeup as a joke turned out to be more real than anyone watching earlier could have imagined. So, while the attack ended inside a Walmart, the warning signs had been sitting on his YouTube channel for more than a year, slowly building toward a horrific tragedy that took 3 innocent lives.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's all making sense now. I ain't gonna lie.
Mitchell Dang was a 25-year-old woman from Norcross, a quiet
Mitchell?
suburb just outside Atlanta, Georgia.
I got
She was
some,
born into a
homeboy
Vietnamese
named
family and
Mitchell.
still lived at home with her parents and 2 sisters. After finishing high school, Mitchell worked several different jobs before eventually becoming a
Who
latch
that?
technician
See,
at a
I don't want to say anything because I don't know what twist or turns the video is gonna make. But so I'm refrain.
local
Like, I don't
boutique.
know.
Outside of work, she
I-
also
all
had a
these type of
small
videos, I don't know
self-titled
what he-
YouTube
I don't know what he
channel,
might say.
which would end up being watched for the most unsettling reasons. Most of her videos were about makeup, online shopping,
does it
vacations,
matter?
and
Yes.
occasionally vlogs from her
Yes.
everyday life. It was just Mitchell documenting small pieces of her life
Mitchell's
and sharing
an
it with her
interesting
small
name for
audience.
a female.
So, on Saturday,
Decent.
August 26, 2023, when she posted a vlog about getting ready for a concert at Alley Cat Atlanta, there was nothing about it that seemed out of the ordinary.
A shirt, and then I'm wearing a black mini skirt. I'm just going to go and dance my heart away.
She was showing off her outfit and looking forward to having a good time. But unfortunately, this wouldn't be the case. After having dinner with her family, she left home and drove into downtown Atlanta, only to never come back home. At first, when she hadn't returned by the next morning, her family wasn't particularly worried. She was 25 years old, it was a Sunday, and crashing at a friend's place after a late night out wasn't unusual for her.
Okay.
But when Monday came and went with no word, her family started fearing the worst. And a couple of days later, that fear was answered by a police visit. Because on Wednesday morning, someone else had found Mitchell first. At around 7 a.m. on Wednesday, August 30th, a parking attendant was cleaning a downtown garage when he noticed a foul smell drifting through the structure. He followed it toward one of the stairwells, and hidden deep beneath the stairs, he found the remains of a young woman. He called the police immediately, but it was difficult to identify her right away. The only thing they had to work with was a small detail on her right wrist, a wristband from Alley Cat Atlanta. This helped officers identify the victim as Mitchell,
Why they was
who had
killing
been
the-
missing since the night of the concert.
I
Why
don't
identifying
know,
Mitchell
I don't
only
know,
made the
dude.
scene more confusing.
Why they doing it
Officers
in
couldn't
general?
find her
That's a
car
better
anywhere
question.
inside that garage.
Why they
So
doing it in
they now
general?
had to figure out why she ended up in a building she had no clear reason to be in. Officers combed through hours of grainy surveillance footage from the area, and the one thing that finally let them pick Mitchell out of a crowd was the very outfit she modeled for her viewers just hours earlier in her cheerful vlog on her channel. At some point after the show, Mitchell had gotten separated from her friends and was walking alone,
So how did they
struggling to find her
YouTube,
car
though?
while she was visibly intoxicated. That's when a stranger approached her and offered to help. At first, she tried to wave him off, but the man kept following her and
Was she not with
insisting
her
that he could
band?
help,
Was she not with
until
her friends,
eventually
though?
Mitchell allowed him to walk with her. According to
And
official
where?
reports, he then led her toward the parking deck, where she was later found, which possibly means he may have used the fact that Mitchell wasn't sober to make himself seem harmless long enough to get her somewhere
He family
isolated.
probably, or when they
Once
checked
they
her
were inside
phone
the
records.
stairwell, he turned on her. Investigators later found that Mitchell's death was caused by acts of violence. Afterward, investigators used the same surveillance footage, along
like-
with transit
like, was she-
records and other evidence, to identify.
She was just strolling around downtown ATO drunk without her friends, like, or her family. Bro, like, where's her friends at? Like, you're supposed to be with your homegirls when you do this, so this doesn't happen, though.
Identify the man as 24-year-old Jacavius
Holy.
Arnold and arrested him on September 22nd. But even after his arrest, they still didn't understand the full extent of what they were dealing with. According to police testimony, Jacavius admitted that Mitchell was not his first victim. He described approaching other vulnerable women at night,
Yeah.
presenting himself as
Right.
someone willing to help, before turning on them the moment they were
Josh
isolated.
Bullock, you're-
Jacavius Arnold was later found guilty
I knew you were
and
gonna say
sentenced to life in
I
prison.
knew you were gonna say it.
As for Mitchell's family, the video she had uploaded on her channel to share her excitement for a night of music became
Oh,
the
it was
last
played in
recorded
court.
memory of her
Okay.
life.
Bro, what? That's sad, yo.
Austin Harif was a
You're
19-year-old
weird
college
looking into
student from
that. You're
Palm Beach
creep.
County, Florida. On paper, his life seemed like it was moving in a fairly normal direction. He had graduated from Suncoast High School, enrolled at Florida State University to study
Look like 7
biology,
minutes after
and
this.
developed
After this,
a
I might
growing
be out.
interest
I
in
go on.
fitness and
What time is
bodybuilding.
it?
Then, in March 2016,
Yes,
he launched a
12:30.
YouTube channel called A Frost, where he began uploading videos of his workouts and fitness journey. His first upload was a straightforward guide about dieting and weightlifting, aimed at anyone hoping to get in shape.
Today, I'm going to be talking about fitness as a whole and the challenges it brings, okay?
Okay.
Even though
This
the
is the
video was
second fitness dude we
clearly
see.
amateurly filmed and edited, Austin came across as articulate, confident, and genuinely passionate about fitness.
Is he another creep?
Most
or
important supplements out
Is he the
there
victim?
are definitely creatine for bulking, creatine and protein. I mean, protein is important for anybody. And look at the nutrition labels. If they don't have it on there,
Okay. He
enter
spitting
it in
some sort of
yourself.
game.
You know,
I don't
you gotta stay dedicated if you want to be the best.
Why he move
nothing
like
in
that?
life.
Yeah, bro. I don't know.
That's easy is worth having.
But that first video would end up being the most normal thing Austin Harif ever posted. Almost immediately afterward, the channel took a completely different turn. Instead of continuing
guy
with
actually the
simple
worst YouTuber
workout
I've ever
advice,
seen.
Austin started uploading rap music under the name Austin Frosty.
Holy, this dad bring me back to like the 2016 to 2019 like covers right here, man.
Workout advice, Austin started
Okay.
uploading rap music
Like
under
these right here, like the Bart Simpson, Naruto, like I don't even know what he would call them. Like what era was that?
the name Austin
That wasn't the Cloud era. I don't know what
Frosty.
era. that was.
At first, this could have been
Maybe it
dismissed
was.
as a college student
Also, he
experimenting
mad
with
young at that
music.
time.
But the more he uploaded, the harder it became to tell how much of it was supposed to be a joke. They had almost no sense of professionalism. But Austin kept posting them with the seriousness of someone who seemed to believe he was creating something much bigger than it looked. When he eventually returned to making fitness videos, he was acting very different.
Hello, fellow lifters. Today I'm
Oh,
going
yeah,
to
he
talk
lost
about
it.
persistence.
He no longer came across as the composed teenager from his first upload. His personality had become increasingly exaggerated, almost as if he were slipping into a character that grew stranger with every new video.
Right, that's it for the day, fellas and ladies and gentlemen. More dieting advice will be coming soon. Hello, bros. It's Austin Frosty, man. You gotta listen
Yeah, I don't
to
know
the
what
personal
this
trainer's
what
advice.
what is
But you
going on?
gotta find your way too, man. You gotta learn for yourself. You can't just hope and pray that someone
Yeah, I don't know
just
what he's doing.
It was becoming impossible to tell whether Austin was performing a character or slowly losing himself to one. On their own, these moments could be brushed off as awkward attempts at humor.
There's always
But
signs.
when
Yeah,
you
this
watch
is
the
definitely
videos
some
in order,
signs, man.
they start to feel like a visual presentation of a person whose thoughts were slowly starting
He
to drift
remixed
out of
Don't
order.
Like.
And
Was he-
what
he
no one
was-
watching
he was
his
ripping
videos
at
at the
those.
time realized was that the changes appearing on camera were only a part of something far darker happening off screen. Around this same time, Austin's family and friends also began noticing that his personality was changing. By the summer of 2016, Austin was experiencing intense paranoia,
2016, I knew
religious
it, bro.
thoughts,
I knew it was
and what
around
he
that time.
described as demons and monsters approaching him from the shadows.
Oh, yeah, he's
His search history also showed that, on some level, he seemed to understand something was wrong, as he looked up things like mania,
So what's it called,
hallucinations, and
schizophrenia?
am I going crazy? And for a moment, it looked like Austin might be pulling himself back together, because on August 12, 2016, he uploaded a video explaining that he no longer wanted to follow famous bodybuilders. Instead, he wanted to believe in himself.
What's up, guys? I just want to let you know that I came to a realization of something.
Okay.
I no longer want to follow Arnold or any other bodybuilder.
Okay. His nipples
I
man
wanna
hard no
follow
back.
myself,
I mean, no,
you know?
he getting that pumping though. I can't even.
I want to actually.
That's kind of how my
believe in
chest looks
myself.
right now.
Not,
But I'm not finna show it though. But it is.
I want
how
to
it
learn
looks.
from other things, other people, other bodybuilders and stuff. But I just know that they're not me, you know? I know what's right for me.
Okay.
This was perhaps the first time since his original fitness video that Austin appeared grounded again. He sounded calmer and he seemed more positive. But in hindsight, that calm demeanor may have been the most alarming
I'm just
sign
waiting
of
for it to
all.
go all
Around
bad,
this same
like-
period, Austin had told his family he believed he was like Jesus and would one day be worshipped and that he possessed superpowers. Looking back,
What
the
is the
confidence he projected on camera no longer seemed like ordinary self-belief. It increasingly mirrored the grandiose belief that he was expressing in real life. And during that same week, his paranoia became impossible for his family to ignore. Austin told them evil forces were inside the house and
Bro, you
began
gotta get
sleeping
out of
near
there,
his
right?
sister because
His
he
family
believed
has
he
to get
needed
out
to
of there.
protect her from whatever was coming. And on August 15th, 2016, everything spiraled completely out of control. That evening, Austin went to dinner with his father at a restaurant in Jupiter, Florida. But he barely made it through being seated before something inside him seemed to snap. Unfortunately, by then it was already too late. Shortly after,
When you go,
Austin
when you go
returned to
dye
the
your
restaurant.
dreads, bro, I'm just too scared to dye my dreads, bro. Because if I dye it, I'm gonna have to dye it back, and like that's 2 times dyeing it. I can't have my hair fall out. I can't. But my hair, like during the winter, it's already dark, and like during the summer, it gets like low-key red. So it kind of already dyes itself. You feel me?
Had an argument with
what
his
should I
father
dye it, though?
and fled a second
Should I go
time,
blonde on
frantically running off on foot.
Maybe.
He later described being chased by a dark figure with a white face. At some point, he saw a light in the distance and sprinted toward it, believing it would save him. But in reality, that light was
You
coming
need
from the
to?
open garage of a home
Blonde?
where 59-year-old John Stevens and 53-year-old
Ultimate
Michelle
Samasa? Yeah.
Mishkin were
That's what I was
relaxing for the
thinking.
evening. And as soon as he reached the garage,
I was really
Austin
thinking that on the
attacked
way
them,
back
thrashing
home
and
today.
biting in a way home where 59-year-old John Stevens and 53-year-old Michelle Mishkin were relaxing for the evening. And as soon as he reached the garage, Austin attacked them, thrashing and biting in a way so violent and senseless that a neighbor, Jeff Fisher, came rushing over after hearing their screams. But when he tried to intervene, Austin attacked him as well. When the officers finally arrived at the scene, it took multiple deputies, a police dog, and an electric stun device to finally pull Austin
That
away.
many, bro?
John and Michelle
2 grown
lost their
men
lives
can't
at the
pull
scene,
a
while Jeff
single
survived
teenager
with
off?
serious injuries. At first, investigators assumed his behavior had been caused by some kind of hard drug, but the toxicology results didn't show anything like that. That finding became one of several reasons the case took an unexpected turn. Later, after years of evaluations, mental health experts concluded that Austin had suffered an acute psychotic episode and had no
Yeah.
grasp of reality at the time of the
It
attack.
took years for them to
Looking
see
back,
that?
the character as viewers thought they'd been watching him play in weeks before the incident was, in fact, an untreated illness surfacing in real time until it transformed into
It's
something
gonna be you in a few
completely
years.
inhumane.
No,
Austin was
no,
originally
it's not.
charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, attempted
screenshot this?
first-degree
No.
murder, and burglary.
Bro, I'm not
But
gonna go
in
insane,
2022, 6 years after John and Michelle lost their lives, the court found Austin
Wait,
not
they
guilty
died?
by reason of insanity and committed him to a secure mental health facility where he'll remain.
He bit the 2 old people so hard they died. How do we even complete that task? Like, I don't really want to know, but I'm just saying that, like, rhetorically.
Until
died.
doctors and a judge determine he no longer poses a danger, which, for a case this infamous, may very well be never. And as for Austin's channel, it still sits online, revealing the slow descent
That's
of a
insane.
hopeful teenager into complete insanity over the course of a few short months.
Hold on, these decent videos though.